Do you remember or know the old Who song, Who Are You? It was the theme song for CSI for a while, or for a long time, if you remember that show from the, maybe late 90s, early 2000s. I'm not sure what the years it ran through. But this is a question we ask when we meet people. Who are you? Whether consciously or unconsciously. Can I trust you? Do I like you? Who are you really? And we make these assessments all the time without even thinking about them. Well, this is what's going on right now. In our series on Exodus, many years have passed now since Moses was born. The people have been enslaved. Moses was born. Moses murdered a man, fled Egypt, and years have gone by. And in chapter 3, God meets Moses, or Moses meets God, whichever way you want to put it. And Moses has to decide right away, who is this God? Who is this God? Who is this God that is speaking to me out of this bush that does not burn up? So Exodus chapter 3 and about half of Exodus chapter 4 are what we're covering this week. It's got to be a major question for Moses as God tells him, I'm going to do some amazing things and I want you to be a part of it. Who is this that is asking me to do these things? And kind of a quick summary of this conversation between God and Moses out of this burning bush. God simply says, I am God. I am God. I am holy. You are neither. So take off your sandals and show a little respect. God says, I have seen and I have heard the oppression of my people, the Israelites. I am going to deliver them, and you are going to help me do that. And Moses simply replies, not me. I am not your guy for this. And God says, yes, you are. You are my guy, and I'm going to be with you. And that repeats over and over and over again in this short, this chapter and a half. And some key statements made by God. God informs Moses that he is the one who is speaking to him, and he is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You have known me by my past actions and my faithfulness to my promises and to the covenant. It is I who am speaking to you, Moses. So very simply this morning, what do we see from God? And what do we learn about humanity? Could say all sorts of things, but just to keep it simple this morning, God. We see his grace at work right here. He has seen and he has heard and he knows what's happening, and he's showing himself. He is making great promises to deliver Egypt, not because of anything that they have done to deserve it, but out of his grace and out of his mercy, he is going to do this thing. Grace at work. We serve a graceful God, grace-infused God. Humanity, what do we see in humanity? Well, particularly we see the human tendency to, we do not want to move from the comfortable to the uncomfortable. Moses is comfortable. He's good right where he is. He's got a wife. He's got a couple of boys. He's having a comfortable time farming out there in Midian. He's not in Egypt anymore. That problem is no longer his. The Israelites in slavery to the Egyptians is no longer his problem. There's a reluctance to move from the comfortable to the uncomfortable, even when God asks us to do it. Something we learn about ourselves from this story. But God in his grace compel action. God in his grace compels us to action. God says, I'm going to deliver you so that you can worship me on that mountain. God redeems us. God shows us his grace so that we would be obedient people and serve him. So, maybe this week it's wise to remember God and his grace. It's also wise to remember, stop and consider before saying, not my problem, when God may be asking us to do something. Until next time, I hope to see you. Check us out. We've got a new website. There's a blog there where we post about things that we've talked about. Check us out, connectchurch214.com, and I'd love to interact with you. And I hope to see you soon. Thanks for joining me. Take care.